So I got a confession to make. I think Brian Ortega is going to ultimately beat Diego Lopes. But if I'm wrong, Diego Lopes is going to move Brian Ortega to lightweight. And I think it's about time because they might have pulled that fight out of nowhere for the fans. And that's why they were going to go to lightweight. And that's when I started thinking, is it possible that Ortega is going to move to lightweight? Because the older he gets, the harder making 145 is going to be. So he's got to do something. And obviously, you got to give him benefit of the doubt. Short notice fight, not enough time to work on your diet. It's really hard, to plan a weight cut on short notice and expect it to go smoothly. Now, Diego Lopes fought Dan Ige, and he didn't do as well as I thought he would. Now, is that attributed to all the weight cutting issues? Because he was there to continue to, make weight again and again and again. And yeah, you could say Dan Ige took the fight on short notice, but all that kind of was definitively saying that it should have been Diego Lopes finishing Dan Ige in the first round. But he didn't. So I was a little underwhelmed by his recent performance, I'm going to be real. And I'm not saying this to be a Diego Lopes hater, because the internet loves Diego Lopes. Trust me, man, I like Diego Lopes. With the work he did against Movzar, the work he did against Sadiq Youssef, I was like, sold. Who's going to stop this guy now? But the Dan Ige fight happened, and, how much benefit of the doubt do we really give these guys? Like I said, weight cut again and again and again. You have to make weight like 3 different times, and you have to keep going through that. But it's not like the weight cuts were going back down to 145 where he really had to deplete himself. And then you're fighting a guy who stepped in last minute, and it goes the distance. Now, yeah, off nights do happen. I'm going to be real. But if he's struggling against Dan Ige, which I wouldn't call it a struggle, but if he's hitting stops against Dan Ige, I only wonder what the rest of the division has in store for him. Now, obviously, he went against Movzar and hung in there, and Movzar is like one of the best in the division, so I think he's only going up through here, and he's going to definitely try and step it up, but if he doesn't step it up, Brian Ortega is going to take it. Because a lot of people love to hate on Brian Ortega, and I get it. He hasn't been very active. He's had it very actually rough in a while. And honestly, I do see his chin giving way a little bit because he fought Max Holloway, fought Volkanovski, and then Yair Rodriguez twice, where you kind of saw him almost get knocked out in that last fight. So you're like, wow, how much can the chin take? So Diego's going to have to win this on the feet. But if Brian Ortega takes Diego down at will, it's going to be an easy night in the office for Brian Ortega. And, man, it's like someone's got to win, someone's got to lose. Because I think Brian Ortega is undervalued as a featherweight. But I also feel like Diego Lopes has so much promise if he continues to step his game up, which he needs to if he wants to win this fight. I was worried after that Dan Ige fight because I'm saying, okay, I'm starting to see he's going to look human against these guys going forward. And if Dan Ige can make him look human, Brian Ortega can make him look very human. So what's my official final prediction after all of the mix and match MMA algebra I just did for you guys? I think Brian Ortega is going to take it, to be honest. And I think that it's going to be good for Diego Lopes if he loses this one, because then he's going to be able to set another baseline and shoot for another thing, because you understand that when he falls short, he does only get better. But if I'm wrong, and if I'm wrong because I have to take a hard pick, I'm picking Brian Ortega, but I realize this fight could go either way. If I'm wrong, Brian Ortega should think about moving to 155 because obviously the weight cutting is going to be a lot for him. But if If he sticks around, does he get another title shot against Ilya Taporia? Third title shot, man. You know what they say. And we've seen this multiple times when they're always the bridesmaid, never the bride. That third title shot, it doesn't really have a whole lot of charm to it, you know. But I'm looking too far in the future. Maybe if he wins, he still goes to 155. Who knows? But, yeah, that's all I got to say about that.